Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Set It Off. It's me, your girl, your favorite host, Simply Sin, and with me, the favorite and one and only co host, Miss Wendy P.
What's up, guys?
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Tired. Wait, today Tuesday or Wednesday?
Today is Taco Tuesdays.
Damn. I'm like, for it to be already like el ombliguito de la semana. I have
Oh, I'm ready for it.
a very excited weekend. Have my mom coming into town, my aunt, my little sis. And I think I'm just like anxiously waiting for my weekend. My baby turns 1. So excited.
Sheesh. Time flies.
Time flies. Time flies.
It really does.
Kids are growing so fast. And it's like in a blink of an eye, I feel like I was just going through. God, that pregnancy was was hard. Like towards the end,
hmm
I was never gonna give birth. Fucking, I
I
had
feel like you feel like you're pregnant for longer than them turning freaking one. It's like God, the
yo.
birthdays come so quick, but being pregnant, you feel like you're pregnant forever.
Right. And then I think what made it worse was I was pregnant. So while I was working, I worked in a school, working while being pregnant. So I find out I'm pregnant, I'm working. It's the current school year. I leave for the summer. I come back, I'm still pregnant. So now to me,
Yeah.
it's another
Now
school
it's
year,
worse.
another year. So I'm like, damn, how long I've been pregnant for? And it's like,
For real.
it was very long, but definitely was a blessing, and he's here now, driving me absolutely crazy. But I wouldn't want it no other way. So
Yep.
because we're talking about the fact that my baby's gonna be 1, and it's been definitely a roller coaster ride. I want to get into the whole parenting topic.
Facts.
I think that's
Definitely a good topic.
it is because I think we all fight it. We go through battles in any kind of form or way, right?
hmm
So, you want to tell us a little bit on parenting and based off of your experience?
Yes, of course. So for me, whew, my parenting has been up and down. So I've had where I'm in a relationship, right? And I'm doing the whole dad and mom parenting. Then I had the single again, and then I'm in a relationship again. And
Right.
so yeah, it's like a whole movie. But for the most part, it is hard. It's hard either way, I think, right? Like when you're in a relationship and you both have different views. So sometimes there's always that one parent que is apoyador, right? Like spoils the kids more, or don't talk to my kid like this, or even the own father. You're like, ah, you're being too hard, right? So you go through those little things, right? You're like, okay, I think you're overreacting. And then when you get with someone that is not the biological father, it's even 10 times harder because now you feel like everything that they're saying and doing is against the kid,
Right.
right? So it is definitely a roller coaster, and it's hard for me. I think the hardest thing has been trying to be a full-time mom, worker. At one point I had two jobs, so now I have two jobs with four kids and still trying to have a social life and still do things with them, and that has been one of the hardest things for me. And I just feel like, I think we've talked about this before, where when you break up with people or things don't work out, it's kind of like the person breaks up with the kids too, in a sense, right? So now you're like, hey, are you gonna do this? Are you gonna do that? And it's like you're after this person, and it's like, why do I have to be after you for anything? It should just come naturally. You know what I mean? Like I shouldn't have to ask you to help with anything. It should just, it's part of being responsible parent, period. Like the kids shouldn't be
Right.
affected because of what happened as two adults and what decisions we made at the end of the day. So that part is, I still deal with it. Even the parts where now I have to talk to my ex-husband through an app because you can't talk to me over the phone or text me. So, and I know you have that situation where now we're having conversations through a damn app, and it's like, damn, I just want to pick up the phone. You know what I mean? Like, how many more years? Again, I've said it before. I am such a laid back person. Like, I just want to be cool. We co-parent. We could all chill. It doesn't matter to me because at the end of the day, I want to make sure my kids are mentally good at the end of the day, and they could see like, oh wow, look, my parents are not together, but my parents still do things together, or my parents
Mhm.
have a good relationship. They're co-parenting together because at the end of the day, the kids see all that. You know what I mean? Like my son has made comments like, also now you beefing with such and such, and it's like he's 14 years old. Like, what does he know about that? You know what I mean? And those are the things that bothers me. Is like the kids shouldn't be affected in any way in whatever happened with the parent or whoever you were with at that time. Because if you knew when you get with someone and you know they have kids, you got to take that person in with everything that they come with. If not, get the
Mhm.
step in. You know what I mean? Because I'm if I meet somebody, the first thing out my mouth is, "Oh, I have kids." You either take it or leave it. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? And I'm
Mhm.
not here to. I'm not looking for a meal ticket. I'm not looking for, oh, I want to be with this person because I want them to financially support. No, baby, because I do what I have to do.
Mhm.
And I think sometimes that's also doesn't help, right? When you're so independent and you're in control of everything, you intimidate. A lot of men get intimidated by that.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I threw a lot out there
No,
right now
it's.
because,
I was
baby,
bullet point everything you were saying.
yeah.
I think okay, so let's get to that topic first. So parenting and co-parenting is hard.
Hmm.
Um, Parenting is hard because unfortunately in this era that we live in now, this generation, we
Hmm.
can't we could, but let's just be honest. It's difficult to parent like our parents probably did with us,
Right.
right? So social media obviously plays a big role. Um, Social media, like, social Instagram, TikTok, all of that. I think that the music plays a big role. And
Phones.
yeah, phones.
Remember back in the days, we didn't have no phones.
So my thing is that kids, they don't know how to be their own persona. You know,
Hmm.
kids, as much as they say that they're leaders or they want to be leaders, they're not. They
They're
live,
followers.
they're followers. They want to live a lifestyle based off what they see. All kids,
Hmm.
all ages. And that just makes it harder for us because we don't come from dealing with that, right?
Right.
I remember working at a school as a teacher assistant, as a dance coach, and I probably must have experienced things that I never thought I would experience as an adult having a kid, right?
Hmm.
The adult because I'm older. Um, when you are a mom or a dad or a guardian, whatever, you drop off your kids in school, right? You leave your kids in school for 8 hours. So
Hmm.
they're taking care of your kids. You don't know absolutely nothing that your kids do
What's
while
going on?
they're there. I could sit here and think that my kid might not do A, B, and C at home, but I don't know what the hell that kid is doing when he's at school, he or she.
Exactly.
And I lived it. I lived it. I seen it. I experienced it. And I was like, this is hard. It's hard
Mhm.
because you're so oblivious as a parent to what's really going on out here. And especially,
Right.
okay, me and you are parents that we're with the shits, right?
Right.
So
We know what each of our
we
kid
know
is
about
capable of.
we know about social media, we know about the TikToks, we know about the music. I'm pretty sure you do too, but obviously I'm a parent that I don't do that whole I'm not gonna play this because I don't want my kid to hear it because
Hmm.
I'm sorry and no disrespect to nobody, but I'm not that parent. I listen to
Right.
whatever I listen to because me listening to that, it's a way of me knowing where my kids are at, you know,
Hmm.
what they're listening to. So, oh, you listening to this? But we listening to get together. Now we singing. I'm learning the words
Hmm.
and doing all the raps and all the TikTok because I want to stay in tune with what y'all got going on.
Right.
But then you have parents that are not there. Like they don't understand, they don't know. There's, parents that are a little bit older, obviously, that, are not probably so updated with the new
Mm,
modern life that these kids live
exactly.
in. And it's like, gosh, they just don't know. And sometimes
They're
parents,
delusional.
they are, and parents love to
Very.
put their hand on fire for their kids.
Right. No, porque mi hijo y mi hija no hacen eso.
Pero su hijo es un demonio
Dime.
cuando viene a la escuela, un diablito.
Right. Right. And then our kids that maybe, yeah, they listen to certain artists. I've asked my kids, even my 21-year-old, I'm like, do you know what they're saying? What, for example, Bad Bunny, I think it was the album before this one, and she was listening to. I'm like, do you understand what the music is about? No, I just like what the beat and what it's saying, like just what he how he's saying it, right? But she
Yep.
had no clue what the hell he was talking about because in her she's 21, but her mind is different. You know what I mean? So right there, I'm just like, okay, that to me, I felt good. I'm like, okay, I'm doing something right because por lo menos she likes the beat, but she had no clue what the hell the music was saying. I was feeling uncomfortable because I'm like, do you understand? And it's like,
Yeah,
but
yeah. That's true. That's what a lot of kids, again, kids are just following what's going on.
right,
They don't really know. Half of these kids don't know what they're doing, and which is why they make a lot of mistakes. So I speak for myself. I'm a mom of three kids, right? 16, 13, and now soon to be
soon to be
one.
one. Mm-hmm.
My kids are completely opposite from each other, and clearly I can already see
Nice.
all three of them are. My daughter is very smart, book smart, but very dumb for like the street. You
Not
understand?
street smart.
At all.
Yeah, let's not say dumb, but more like she's not street smart, which is okay.
I could tell her she dumb when it comes to the street because like you gotta
Smart baby,
know it's
smart.
it's like not knowing if it's a stop
It's
sign
like you gotta
or
get one or
don't.
the other.
Like
Hey,
she's not
she's a brain because graduating a year early. Thank
no,
you. Go
definitely I give that
Chanel.
to her. But even that right there,
Right.
look, she's very oblivious to everything, and she is a very vulnerable young girl who tends to believe everything, which is a big problem for me.
She gullible like her auntie.
I admit she is. And the worst part is, okay, so I always tell her, "You're all beauty. She's all brains. She's beautiful. In and out. She has a beautiful heart. Super sensitive, very dramatic, big heart, super loving and caring, but she's sneaky as shit, right? But I've always said, damn, you came out just like your dad, sneaky as fuck. I'd rather a kid to be very outspoken.
Vocal.
Very. I want you to verbalize everything to me. I don't care if it's bad or good because I want that. I like that because I'm like that. So she's the opposite from me. So with her is always having to find out, look,
Mm-hmm.
guess, assume, question, and it's not good. Then you have my son, 13-year-old, bright kid, okay? Um academically wise, we strive for better every day, but he's an athlete, right? So he's an
Mm-hmm.
athlete, he has really high goals, he has gotten really far, but he's an asshole. Like he's a savage little kid. He's super like outspoken.
Oh,
Um
I wonder where he gets that from.
his personality is like at another
Mm.
level. His character, por
He
igual.
gets from the mama.
He sure does, igualito su mae. Bueno, yo lo
Mm-hmm.
parí, de aquí salió, coño, porque por lo menos uno tiene que salir a mí.
Mm-hmm.
And so different. Like he is he's me. He's me, and I've always said
Yeah.
it. Yo voy a pegar absolutamente toda con él because he is me. Very opposite from her. In this generation, having two kids like that is hard.
Not for real.
And now, look, my daughter now. I have to prepare her for college. She's graduating this year at the age of 16. Usually you're ready to have your kids graduate at 17, 18 years old, 19.
18, yeah.
You know, having her graduate so early, it scares me because she's not prepared for this world.
Hmm.
She's not that independent. And
Yeah.
that's hard because we
That
live in a,
will, I mean, she is 16
she's still a
and
baby.
yeah, she's still a baby. I don't fuck what you heard. She is still a baby. And my daughter's 21 and she's very independent on things, but there's certain things that even she tells me, like, Mom, I'm not ready for this adult life. I'm not ready at all. You know what I mean? And well, we've always said, like, Chanel and her, like,
Are
they
very much
gotta be
alike.
related. Yeah, very much alike, very book smart, very focused when it comes to school. But she tells me herself at 21, like, I don't want to do this. So she's okay. She's a baby. She's only
She
16.
is. And that's what scares me, that I have to like set her off.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying my
You'll
best
be all right. You'll
to,
be there.
yeah, 100%. And I'm trying my best to, I mean, shit, I've done something good. Can I get some fucking compliments or something? Because diablo,
Facts.
a mí no me dan ningún tipo de crédito. My baby father, not once in his life has he sat here and say, "You've done a great job raising our
That
daughter.
will
She's
come.
an amazing, smart young girl." I mean,
Maybe in
she is
5 years.
because of me. In 5 years.
Maybe in 5 years, when she's at her wedding and something, and
Oh
then
my
he
God.
has a change of
I'm
heart.
just waiting for that one compliment because
I don't know why it's so hard for a compliment. Like, I would never take away um if my exes are, I give them their props. Like, it just doesn't. At the end of the day, I think I just have a good heart.
yeah,
Maybe
fuck
it's the
that.
gullible in me, because
My
it's
heart.
like, bro, I'm still gonna give you the credit you deserve, but
Only credit you
don't.
deserve is that thanks to your DNA
I
and
have,
your sperm, we made this beautiful child. That's the only credit
I
I'm gonna give
guess.
you. He don't deserve no credit at all. He obviously did his thing, was a great person at one point, but I felt everybody has two faces, and you see
Girl,
one face.
that's just the bitterness, and he
But
still needs some healing. He should watch the last episode. He needs some healing
you
in
see,
his life.
you see how cada moneda tiene dos caras, ¿verdad?
Let me see, mija,
Tú
porque estos hombres son bipolar.
tú conoces la primera cara por un buen tiempo hasta que tú volteas la moneda y te das cuenta de la otra cara. And that's exactly how I will relate when it comes to how we can relate to him. So back to what I was saying. Then we have Gio, my son, who is not, you know, all he sees is eats, shits, and breathe baseball. So we're aiming for, a great high
Yeah.
school, college, and so on. And with him, it's like I gotta pray every day that he don't get me a girl pregnant by the age of like 15, 16 years old.
Oh my
Because this
God.
has a girlfriend almost every 2, 3 months, and he falls in love
Wow.
with her. So it's like
He's a lover boy.
he is such a lover boy. He is such a lover boy, and it's not
I think
okay.
it's just a middle school thing that all the boys go through.
I
My
hope that's what it is.
son,
Changes when he goes to high school.
well, my 14-year-old went through that. He started sixth grade and he was, oh my God, but the girls had him going crazy and the press and this. And I'm like, bro, calm down. You're not marrying none of these girls. When he got to eighth grade, he kind of toned it down a little bit because it was already too much.
I thought he was
Thankfully,
gonna tone it down when we got here.
no. Oh no, it got worse, girl. Fresh meat. He was
That's
tired
ex-
of that other school.
that's exactly. Oh
Man,
my.
what? He in a whole new state.
That's exactly what it was.
And
And
when you're a baseball player, you already got that cockiness, that,
you do. So this
what is it
this
called? Like a jock?
a doc, yeah. So this is a
Come on
situation when
now.
you are when you're it's where I'm gonna go off topic for a second, but when you have a kid, when you have a boy and a girl, you
Hmm.
gotta think like a girl to be for the, you got to think like a girl for
Right.
the mom. I mean, for the
Think
daughter.
like a
You got to
boy.
think like a boy for your son. I raised my kids alone for the past 10, 11 years until now that obviously I have a man by my side who's helping me raise them. But the first 10, 11 years of their lives, I did it by myself.
That
And
shit's hard.
I could tell you it was hard, but nothing I wasn't able to do. So my point is that you have to play both roles. So the problem that I have is that I am very much like a guy. I have a very guy mentality because I was so independent for so long, been living on my own since I was 18. So I'm very street smart. So I'm not the book smart girl. It's not. But I'm very street smart. So I think like a man, right? So when I talk to my daughter and I'm telling my daughter about boys, it's like I gotta be so gentle and fragile with her. You
Of
know,
course.
all they want is you to say something nice to your ear, and then you gotta not fall for it. And it's like, God. Then it's like with my son, it's like, yo, don't be catching no feelings. You just gotta talk to these girls. Don't get nothing serious. No strings attached. Just be like, okay, I like you, you.
I can't.
Horrible advice.
Apoyadora. Yeah,
But my thing
horrible.
is, do not. I tell them all the time, you don't have to have girlfriends. You don't have to give them a title. Why do you want to give them a title?
Yeah.
Because now you what happens when you go to high school and you become a baseball star? You're not gonna have time for girls as much as you think
Not
you are.
only that, those girls be getting you distracted.
Oh my god, I'm so glad that you're saying that. Say that again because I want people like my daughter to hear
Yes,
that when you talking to an when you want to
you
talk
get
to
distracted.
distraction is the number one
Girl,
for these kids, especially
yes.
athlete. I say that all the time.
Let me tell you, besides the fact that they're already distracted with their damn phones, social media, now they're on the phone with the other person. Now they want to be on FaceTime. Now they're falling asleep with each other on the phone.
That's the worst
But
thing.
hold on, because we used to, well, when I finally got a phone, I was in high school. But remember, we had minutes. And
Oh yeah.
past 9, we couldn't use it. We only could use the phone after 9. And then 9 o'clock was my bedtime. So when was I really going to be on the
Oh
phone?
shit. Fucking A.
You know what I mean? But I be telling, even Destiny, that's 9, is on the phone with her friends all day. And
I be patience.
when I scream, she's like, Mom, oh my God, why do you have to scream? It's embarrassing. I'm like, well, it's not my fault. Now I can't talk in my house. Que ustedes están en teléfono all day on FaceTime. They're sharing their location.
Oh yeah. Oh girl, that's another thing. The location sharing.
Oh my God, my friend only lives 8 minutes away. Can we have a play date? Not that making plans.
This
Man,
generation.
I'm telling you, this generation is
And then
horrible.
play dates back then were like innocent play dates. You know, you play dolls, you play
¿Qué
house.
play date? Mami, que llevarnos para otra casa. You
No,
crazy.
but I'm saying like the
Play with your sister and your brother. Right. It was,
play dates where you. I
what's a
mean,
play date now?
I'm an only
TikTok?
child, but right now is play date is considered. We're about to do 75 TikToks. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
call a bunch of friends on the phone, and this is it.
No,
Find
hear this one.
out.
Mom, can you buy me skincare products so I can do videos? I don't even have a skin routine. Like, what? What's wrong with these kids? I don't
Skincare.
even have a routine. I don't even be doing all that.
Yeah.
Talking about, can I buy you some products and stuff? Pero estos muchachos,
I can't. Yo, the other day I heard her talking when I was talking to you in the background, talking to her friend. I'm like, what the fuck, a grown
right.
ass girl. I did the
Okay,
mistake of
Sin and
telling,
Wendy.
yo,
Okay, Sin and Wendy on the phone.
I'm like, oh my god, get my number from your mom so you could call me. I don't even know if I want her to call me now. I'm like, this girl gonna want to have me on Facetime all day with her. She gonna think she her mom.
Girl, I'm just
So
like,
this generation
these
is
kids.
different. They're different. They're you. Okay, did you see
It
the?
worries me.
Oh wait, did you see the news about the 11-year-old kid that had all
Honey
these
Boo
guns?
Boo. How about I send that on the group chat with my kids and I said, don't don't let me ever find out that y'all talking crazy and saying, look at this kid. I showed them because it was like that's scary. Now the parents are being okay, granted, the situation in your town, the dad deserved it. Like you don't give your kid a gun and you know what I'm saying? But what if a kid just goes talking crazy. Parents don't have nothing. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. I'm gonna be like, take the kid with you. I ain't got nothing to do with that. I send it to my kids and I said, look at what's going on in the world. A 11-year-old going to jail.
That's so
That's
heartbreaking. But my mom calls
that
me
is.
and she was like very devastated by watching the news, right? So I always have this argument with her. Deja de estar viendo la noticia que te va a volver
Ah,
loca.
you know what? I just
Con
watch
todo
whatever comes on
disparate,
Instagram.
con todo lo disparate que tú ves. Instagram is already una noticia because they keep you updated on every fucking thing. So
For real.
she's like, no, porque ese niño de 11 años. I'm not surprised. She's like, but he's only 11 years old. I'm not surprised. I get the weapons thing, but I'm not surprised that an 11 years old has a mentality like that because I come from working at a school where I was around kids that were 11, 10, 11, 12, 13 years old, 14, 15, 16, 17 years old. And I could tell you something from working in a middle school and working in a high school. The middle school kids are 10 times worse than the high school
Worse.
kids.
I
Okay.
remember you telling me.
These 11-year-old, 12-year-old kids, not just out here having sex, okay? Not just out here posting each other naked, sending each other
Mm-mm.
pictures, going viral. If you break my heart or you did something to me, my revenge is to whatever you send me, I'm gonna post it.
Oh
I'm
hell
gonna
no.
blast it. I'm gonna airdrop it because you know that's the new thing for kids now. And they're doing drugs like crazy. They're walking around with
They
vapes,
smoke vapes.
okay?
Yeah.
Like so this is I'm not things like this don't surprise me. Because
Yeah.
this is what I'm saying. This generation of kids are fucked up. And a lot of people want to always blame the parents, but it's not the parents. Because a lot of parents, like I said earlier, are very oblivious to things. There's parents that are really out there working hard,
Yeah.
busting their asses, trying to give the kids a better life living. You understand? A better lifestyle.
Hmm.
Be able to buy them shoes, whatever the things, clothes, book bags, whatever it is that these kids need. Pay for activities. For these kids to be fucking ungrateful, go to
Yeah.
school and be a whole other paper
And
than
I
what
bet you half of those kids have a mom and dad at home. They have both parents.
it's always like that.
But it's social media.
It is. It's
It's
this
the
generation.
games. It's when what's crazy. I always get on my son about like, bro, you want to be up late playing video games. And he always finds things to send me. Like my mom is always complaining that I want to play video games all the time, but at least I'm not out in the streets doing drugs. I'm
Look at
not
you.
out in the.
Who said
And
you gonna
I'm like,
be 14
it.
years old?
And I'm just like, bro, in a sense, he makes a point. You get me? Like, I do. Yeah, I bet you about the game because you want to be up till 4 or 5 in the morning. You want to be screaming playing the game, but he makes a point where at least I'm not doing this. You know what I mean? But it's still at the end of the day, it's like the
But
game doesn't help either.
that's him giving you an ultimatum, basically.
Claro, manipulators que son, because these kids will manipulate you and
Yeah.
make you feel guilty.
Not me, baby. Listen, one thing my big kids don't do is manipulate me. They know I don't play that shit. Like yesterday, I went to go. I went to go. We were driving to school, and Gio he wants to tell me something, but I hate when kids stutter to tell you something. They don't stutter every other time during the day when they're having a
I
conversation.
know.
And then all of a sudden it's like, yeah, so mom,
Maybe they're scared.
the other day, so the teacher said, get to the fucking point. What are you saying? Háblame claro, no me hable enredado, no me gusta esa vaina, me desespera. And
It's when they're in trouble, right? Was he in
okay,
trouble?
we're claro. So I'm driving and I'm like, dime, háblame, ¿qué pasó? No, because the teacher said I might have a detention. A detention?
I might
Hold on.
have.
Now I'm driving slow because now you mentioned detention. Ya se me subió la presión. Ya hay ataque que me va a dar. So I'm like, why would you have a detention? But while he's talking to me, él todavía está en el teléfono, scrolling on the reels, on the TikTok. Y yo le estoy
I know
preguntando,
that
pero ¿qué
problem.
fue lo que pasó? No, because you remember the day that I was absent, pero él sigue hablándome por mitad. Mira, yo cogí ese teléfono, oye, que, you know, RJ sits in a car seat, right? And he sits back. RJ went like this.
He was like, "What's going on?"
He said, I grabbed that phone and I went to him and I said, coño, te estoy hablando, muchacho de mierda, dame el teléfono. He's like, what? And I said, get to the point. Get to the fucking
Right,
point. Don't do that shit. When I'm asking you a fucking question, get to the point. Because if you're in trouble, we're gonna figure it out as of now. But don't be with the stuttering shit.
right.
So he sit here and he says, No, it was because I was absent, and since we didn't turn in a letter, the time I went to Miami, whatever, whatever, they didn't let me make up the assignment. That's all you have to say from jump. You see how easy it is when you
Right,
communicate.
because it's not his fault.
It's not your fault, but you're giving me a lot of enredamiento. You're not, no me está hablando claro, me desespera que no me hable claro. Oye, yo le di tan duro con ese teléfono que he was like, but why you gotta hit me? And then that's the problem with him, that he don't stay quiet. So he will
Oh,
respond back to me.
that's the boys.
Yeah, ni que even if it's not in a falta de well, it is a falta de respeto, like my mom says. But what I'm saying is, even if the tone is not in like giving me an attitude back, it's more like, but
Yeah,
why you
it's
like,
like,
like
right.
responding. He él no se queda callado. So his thing was, I was telling you earlier, he usually, I think he has PTSD with me because he knows that I don't care where I'm at, what location, who we're in
Go
front of.
from zero
If
to 100.
you do something, I don't play that shit when it comes to school. So he knows I fuck his ass up where the fuck we're at. I have embarrassed him at school. I have embarrassed him in an aftercare.
Dito.
So he knows I don't play that shit. So he always be scared. So he goes to 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 tell me the story. Okay, fine, I let it slide. Before he leaves the car, he's already telling me like, I'm not in trouble, right? So I can know. I said, why? He's like, I'm just asking. I said, no, you're not in trouble. I'm already thinking in my mind, this nigga's probably asking me so that when I pick him up, he gonna come to the car and fall asleep like he does. I told you what he does. I'm pretty sure other people's kids do this. This kid, this kid, and I like to share this because I think it's funny. Since he was little, I want to say 5, 6 years old, he's always played this role of I'm sleepy and I'm tired when he knows that he's in trouble because the little motherfucker has been a badass. And as soon as he would get in the car, I'm like, oh, no te preocupes, que vamos a hablar cuando lleguemos a la casa. The nigga's dead. He's in coma. He goes in coma until the next day. When I tell you, I've never seen a kid sleep from like 6, 7 o'clock in the afternoon
For
to
the
the
next
next
day.
time. Sin comer. Tú me dijiste a mí que tú te acostaste sin comer because you knew that you was going to get an
They
ass
get,
me.
right.
That's exactly what he does. Gio is known for that. And still to this day, I promise you, he is 13 years old and he does the same thing. It never fails. When he knows that
That's
I'm about to
smart.
check his ass on something, me hace. And my man always laughs because he's just like, yo, leave this kid alone. No.
Right.
I'm very strict. You want to know why? And I say this because it took a lot to raise these two kids alone. It was a lot of times that I dealt with a lot of bullshit from their father, a lot of humiliation from father, family, friends, more than anything family. I don't think I was judged that much by friends like I was by family, because
Yeah.
as a single parent, you're doing all you can to make it right, and I was working
Yeah.
2, 3 jobs, weekends, daytime jobs, doing everything to make sure that my kids were good, because I was not financially counting on my baby father all the time. It was one of those, I'll do when I can or when I want or whatever the case is. And realistically speaking, it was not enough. So to give my kids the lifestyle that I gave them, because I've always given them a really good life living, from spoiling them with everything, to doing whatever I can. And obviously us living and me taking care of myself, because most importantly, I always say that if I can't take care of myself and be good, I can't take care of you.
Hmm.
So doing everything I did, I don't let nobody ever come. Yeah, people can might and talk about me now as a parent with my little one, but when it comes to those two kids, I did a lot alone. I went through a lot of tears. I went through a lot of sacrifices. I went through a lot of all of this in the means of me being a rebellious person that was going through everything that I was going through. That's we talked prior
Right.
in our other episodes. So while doing all of that, suffering depression, heartbreaks, traumas from my father, everything that I went through, I was still being a mom
Yeah.
and do the best that I could to be a great mom and obviously raise them the right way. So when it comes to school, I don't play that shit. My kids know before they come home with a C, well, my daughter's ever. She's gotten one B or two B's her whole life, and she's been
And
put.
she's having an attack.
She already knows. My son, I allow him to get C's, and probably two because he's just him, and it's like we fight.
Yeah.
But even that, he knows I don't play that shit. The punishing always happens. I remember I one time I hung his TV. I mean his bike. I hung it up, And I watched him see it for a whole entire month because it was not coming down until you got your grades up. Because this is
Right.
a fucking joke. What one thing your father is never gonna do? He's already done enough to me, but he's never gonna tell me that I was a bad fucking mom, or that I
Yeah.
didn't do shit right, or that I left you guys anywhere and everywhere just to be. No, that's not how it ever went down. Despite
Yeah.
how bad people want to make it seem, that shit I don't allow is for people to say anything about me when it comes to parenting. So it's not easy. It wasn't easy. It was very hard. And then when you see it now, this generation of these kids and how bad they are, it's like I'm lucky that I have the kids that I have. I have really great kids.
Yeah, I agree. I think for the most part, I think sometimes
We're hard on
we're hard on our I know for me, I'm very hard on myself. I question myself. I think people, and I think because I let other people make me question myself, right? So I'm not perfect by any means. I have my flaws, but no one can ever fucking say that I don't take care of my kids, that they don't fucking have clothes, that they don't fucking have food, that I don't fucking take them places because I I do it and I've done it. You get me?
them.
So that I do my own thing, yes, 100%. What, I have to stop living because I have kids? And I'm gonna keep bringing this shit up and keep bringing this shit up and keep bringing it up. Why? Because it's every motherfucking week, and you know I'm not like this. It's always a constant reminder of, oh, esta quiere esto, que lo otro. But guess what, baby? I take care of what I have to take care of. I take care of what I have to take care of. All my bills are paid. My kids have a fucking roof over their head. I have a fucking car. I have a motherfucking job. I travel, yes. I travel with my kids as well. And yes, I do for me because I got to, like you said, you got to make sure that you're good. If I'm not good and I'm not standing on these 2 feet, well, how am I supposed to take care of them? You
Mhm.
get me? Porque muy colorado que están, todito. So no es que no hacen falta because before I eat, I'm gonna make sure they're fed. If I have to not eat and give them my food, that's gonna happen. So I hope one day my kids see that too, right? Because these kids are ungrateful. They don't appreciate. They think like I have a fucking bank in the backyard and I just go getting money. But I hope that one day they could see, that I try to do what I can. You get me? And I might not be the best mom in the world or the most affectionate person in the fucking world, but I try. You get me? So that's one of the things that hopefully
Yeah,
they realize.
and you don't ever have to. At the end of the day, we don't have to prove anybody anything.
They don't
You know,
ever realize though.
the thing is, I think that our biggest mistake is, and I say our because I'm going to speak just for me and you because obviously I know you and you know me.
Right.
Our biggest mistake is that we feel that we need validation from those certain people when it comes to parenting when we really don't, because we know what we do, we know what we've done, and we know what we keep doing. But because
Right.
we let people get in our head to want to you know what it is narcissism.
It's
Okay,
people we allowing. Why the fuck do we still allow people to control?
because those people are narcissists, and when a person is like that, um we still become very vulnerable to them.
Right.
I want to think that I'm saying that correctly because my man always says, "Why are you so scared of your baby father?"
I don't think it's necessarily that you're scared.
I don't think so either.
I think that at one point, this is someone you were with, this is someone you have kids with, and the way we love as moms, we want we do it. We're like that because of our kids. You get me? Like, look, there's people, and maybe I'm going off subject that I posted what 2 days ago, discussing the whole podcast thing. How, you know, when you're doing anything in the world, people are gonna criticize, right? People are gonna have comments. People that you have on your page that probably act like they're your friends are gonna talk shit. They're gonna say things, remarks, and things like that. But you know what? There's always two sides to every story. And I've never come on this podcast, and I'm gonna say it right here. I've never come on here dogging nobody out, discussing anything. I've talked about what I've been through, And I haven't even said all the shit that I've been through, right? Because I'm very cautious of how I say certain things, how I want people to portray me. But like you said, me and you both know what the deal is. And if we still are the way we're not scared of them. It's we genuinely, I think it's like maybe we feel sorry. Maybe that's what it is. I'm
I
trying to I'm
no,
trying to find the perfect word.
no. You and I, when it comes to that, have different understanding.
I definitely
You have
I
very
don't have no ill will in my bro. Yo no le deseo mal a nadie. Why? Because I believe in karma, and
It's
I
not
am
even desearle mal. It's not even desearle mal.
yeah,
Like, that's not you. You're right. That's definitely not who you are. Um, you just have too much of a big heart, and you think
bro.
that everybody. You still want to continue justifying people's actions, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not that person. You
I
know.
get emotional because I'm genuinely not a bad person. I
Okay.
fucking tried and tried and tried and tried and tried for a very long time. I've tried. You know what I'm saying? Like, and maybe I'm just still dealing with shit and I'm upset because it's like, bro, like I just want to be happy. You know what I'm saying? If my happiness is to be by myself with my kids and me do me, then that's my happiness. Like, just let me be happy. You get me?
But it starts with it starts within. Um, when you feel the need to still have to acknowledge,
Justify or explain.
justify,
Yeah,
explain, or prove a point, I always tell you this: you're the one to blame.
right.
It's
That
not. It,
that that goes with the 40% of healing we discussed on the last episode.
yeah. Sorry. Um, no, but like on some real shit. For those before we get really before I get to what I want to say in regards to you, for those that don't know, I just want to make sure that I clarify this. Me and Wendy and me and Wendy, however the fuck I want to say it. Obviously we are best friends, so we talk like this to each other. We are
Right.
very there's no pointing fingers. She tells me whatever the fuck I gotta tell me, checks me if I'm wrong or right. Vice versa. I'm very open into the conversation when it comes to her personal life because just like she lives it with me every day, every emotion, every tear, I live it with her. So I don't need anybody to ever be like, well, what the fuck? This girl be so hard on her. Like, no, we're like this. Of course, I'm a little bit harder than her because she again
Yeah, yeah.
she's the balance here because she's more of the nicer person, not always, but she's more of the nicer person than me when it comes to these type of things. Okay, so back to the topic. You don't need to do any of that because you know who you are. The problem is that you still don't know who you are. You say it de la boca para afuera, but you in here haven't realized who you are. You haven't accepted who you are, and you in your mind keep on thinking that you are either not enough, you haven't done things right. You're saying it from here. You're like, because I
Right.
do this and I've done this and I've done this, but that's not what your heart is really saying or your mind because you're not allowing yourself to really feel all of that. You have to stand strong. You have to be firm. I always tell you this. When you learn how to set your boundaries, okay, and you learn how to just cut certain things off, they will no longer affect you. You don't need to show motherfuckers who the fuck you are as a fucking mom. You don't need to show
Right.
anybody who the fuck you are as a fucking woman because it takes baby. It takes I could be an
Yeah.
outsider and I could see. Okay.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I see my friend goes out and fucking party her ass and goes on vacation. But I also see this is the same woman that if you call at 6 o'clock, she's still at fucking work, sitting down at her desk, okay, being as loyal as she could be to her job, to then rushing out of there to go get her kid and pick up her other kid from practice to run home and cook a fucking dinner, and also talk to me on FaceTime at the same time.
Yeah.
Like there's you're finding balance. You have balance, and you still manage to be able, even if you step out in the nighttime, the fucking kids are going to sleep. Who the fuck cares?
Exactly. I mean, that's always been my mind, right? Like, oh, okay, I'm
But
gonna
you
step out
have
because
to
it's easier.
stop. You have to stop
Why do
feeling like
people so concerned? Right, right. Like everybody's so concerned about what the next motherfucker's doing,
well, I mean
and
that's just the world we live
bruh,
in. Everybody's always worried about people.
I get it,
I
and
don't
it
think
seems
you
like
ever noticed
it's
before.
just like we keep up with celebrities, right? So it's like, yeah, we keep
The
up
thing
with
is
what
that
they're.
you
Yeah.
never lived it before and you're living it now, and then that's why it's brand new to you.
Yes, because I lived it. The going out and I did that. Yes, being in a relationship, but yes, I am living it not being in a relationship and just
And everybody
really
and people always having something to say. That's what I'm saying. You're not used to that.
right.
You were not a person. You were a person, a housewife. You were a
Yeah,
fucking. You went out. You did a lot, but you did it with your partner.
I've been right. I've been in a relationship since I was 16, 17, married by 18, married for 10 years, not including the relationship, the 2, 3 years, to then being separated to a year and a half later, talking to some. So in reality, I've always been in a relationship.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's like, okay, yeah, now I'm going on 3 years of not being in one. Yeah, I got a lot that I have to say. And it's again, I'm not here. I've never been the type to point fingers or blame everything on. But yeah, there's a lot of things that I went through that I don't talk about, and maybe that person has a lot of things that they went through that was not talked about. But there's accountability that needs to be taken by both sides, and when you cannot take accountability for your action, then you're the motherfucking problem. You get me? And there's so many people that they think they know everything because, I guess they were living here too. Ellos están pagando la renta aquí también, that they want to opinionate and give their fucking 2 cents. Or like a lot of you motherfuckers that, and you know me, I'm not, they don't want to hear this mouth. You could just go ahead and unfollow. Come follow me. You come follow the podcast. If you don't like what we got to say, just unfollow. But you
yeah,
know what? You watching, so we definitely getting the views.
100%.
you know and it just upsets me because it's like, bro, I don't bother nobody. I've had people that come and go. I've had people that stop talking to me. Okay, that's just,
But
I've well,
why do you let it affect you so much? You when you speak about it, you sound very hurt.
yeah, because I am very hurt. I'm
But
very hurt.
you're hurt because there's still emotions and
I'm
feelings.
hurt because I know what I bring to the fucking table. I know everything I've done. I know how I am as a person. Like, I'm fucking genuine. Like, I do things for people, not expecting anything in return. So when people try to play me or like make it seem like, oh no, now she thinks this, or now she's doing this, or now she wants to talk about this, and make me out to be like I'm the bad person, that shit bothers me. Like a hundred
Why?
percent.
But why does it bother you if you know that that's not who you are?
No, I know that, but it still affects you in a way. I shouldn't
Give them the
care, but
attention that they want by letting them affect you. That's the
yeah, no,
problem.
for sure.
You need to learn how to. You need to learn how to, like. You need to learn how to brush it off, bro. You won't. You won't be who you are if people weren't talking. You won't. We won't be here if we didn't have haters. We need the
Yeah.
haters.
No, I don't
Tú no
think it's so
sabes.
much.
Tú no sabes que dicen que mientras que más hablan de ti, más te crece el culo. Por eso que tú tienes ese culo grande, loca. Es que te va creciendo, tú no lo has visto. Ese güey se,
Bro, you're shut out.
ese güey se está poniendo chiquito y ese culo está grandecito.
No, because some people think that they made you.
No, listen, girl,
Nah, it
I'm gonna
shouldn't it shouldn't let you affect me, but it does. It affects me.
and that's why they have control over you. And this is all a mind fucking game, my darling.
It is
You
a fucking mind
continue
game for
if you
sure.
continue allowing it and you show them how much it affects you, baby girl, this is not gonna end anytime soon. And if you're going on 3 years going through this, I promise you, 2 years later, you're still gonna be doing this and dealing with the same bullshit.
Oh no.
It's all a mind fucking.
This is my therapy session. This is me letting it all out, and after today, that's it.
I've heard that
I will
before.
not I will not be fucking addressing shit anymore.
No,
but it
and
has to be addressed.
it's not even addressing it. It's you feeling a certain way because you
Yeah, no, of
always
course.
let the shit get to you and bother you
Oh yeah, that's one thing about me, bro. I take a lot of shit personal.
because you're fucking sensitive with your sensitive ass.
That's that Pisces.
Bro, for real. I met a Pisces nigga before and he was so sensitive, acting like a little bitch.
You know what's crazy? My mom is a Pisces, but my mom is,
Your mom is a
I don't
fucking
think
nigga.
she ain't no
Salud,
fucking
Vanya.
sensitive. For real. Sandy la jefa, bro. Like my mom does, I don't see nothing sensitive about her ass.
That's
I think
probably
she's
because
the
two
wrong
sides.
sign.
There's always two
It's
sides.
probably because she's in the middle, you know? She's like around the 15. So,
They always say there's two sides to every sign, right? Because I'm an Aquarius and my first baby father is an Aquarius, and to me
oh
he's a
no.
punk ass bitch, and I am a very like hardcore
Disclaimer.
like.
Yeah,
Nah,
that is weird because my daughter's an Aquarius and she is nothing like you.
she actually is
She
very
may have,
she's
yeah,
outspoken. She has an
she's
attitude, but she's respectful.
okay. Yeah, she's just a little bit more calladita.
Yeah, but
Maybe that it will change
she
eventually.
gotta yeah, she gotta show her
Oh
true
yeah, my
colors.
daughter don't. Yeah, she don't play. She got that from
I've,
her
I've,
grandmother.
I've seen her check her little siblings. I know, but I was like that when I was little, and
No,
then
my
they
daughter
brought
will
up to
not
the crazy
play.
side of me. Like
No, one thing about the marriage, she do not play, and she knows what the hell she wants, and she
you
gonna
need to
let it. In.
back to
She
topic
was raised
though,
right.
like for real, you need to seek therapy, my nigga. I'm so tired
For
of this
real,
shit. Like this is so sickening already.
I need a therapist.
Do you
Who
want
is
me
a
to just take you
therapist?
by the hand? Like we could do this shit on Zoom call
No,
together if you don't want to do it because I don't understand what the
no, I
hell. Like
know.
you need to get it done because I'm you're the problem, my darling. It's affecting you and you're allowing it to affect you all the time. It's
I was
really, really
actually good talking about it 2 days ago, but then today was just you got to release it.
it's it's just hard. It's hard um when we know what we do, we know who we
Right.
are, and we get misjudged, as a parent.
I think that's what it is. That you get misjudged when you know, like, no one. I'm not asking for a fucking trophy. I'm just saying, like, I'm not no girl. I'm not sitting at home cogiendo fresco. Like, I'm a fucking addict, or you know what I mean. Like, I'm actually going to work, doing what I have to do. Like,
I don't know.
but
I must really be a changed person because, baby, bombastic. Not like when I tell you that you could talk about me, judge me, criticize me, do it all when it comes to me as a woman.
yeah,
Because I keep on saying this and I quote, there's nothing you can say about me that I don't say about myself. But as a mom, my nigga, I don't care how much shit you want to say, how much fingers you want to point, how much crap you want to do to judge me. This crown would never come off. And I don't need acceptance from anybody. I don't need nobody to validate that because I know that within here. And that's what I'm trying to teach you. And I'm trying to tell you. And I tell you this all the time. When you know the badass mom that you are, the sacrifices that you have made, the tears that you have cried, the hard times that you have had, because these kids give us hell.
oh yeah,
Okay? We could have good kids, but reality is they give us hard time. And let
of
me tell you
course,
something. Nobody, I would never allow anybody to sit here and make me ever question my parenting. Ever.
yeah,
Ever. I don't allow it from anybody, not even my present partner now. Because it's that you don't know the things that I've been through. The sacrifice.
yeah,
You know how many times I didn't have toilet paper to wipe our asses? You know how many times I didn't have food to eat, but I had to
yeah,
make sure that my kids ate? And even if I
yeah.
had if I had one McChicken, guess what? The McChicken was split into two people. My
Facts.
two kids, and I wouldn't even eat.
Yep.
Okay. You know how many times I got flat tires in the middle of the street and I had to sit here and take my little ass boy to help me try to learn how to change the tire?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you know how many times my kids had to witness my baby father lay his hands on me and I not once called the cops on him? You know how
Yeah.
many times I went to work in the daytime, 9 hours, picked them up, went to baseball, went to dance, took them home, fed them, did homework, put them to bed, go work in a nightclub where I had to deal with disrespect
Yeah.
from people. I had customers get nasty with me. I had a client that I even had a case with. He threw a drink in my face because I told him he couldn't go to the back room. And of course, I defended myself, so I threw something back at him. But I had to deal with a lot of shit to give my kids
A better,
a
not to
better
para que no digan, oh, my
life.
mom couldn't get me this. Yeah.
You
Just to be able
understand?
to,
Even to be able to just continue providing food,
right,
a
right.
roof over our head.
Uh,
So for
let me tell
anybody
you,
to ever sit here and judge me as a parent, I would never allow it. And that's what I tell you is that you don't need the validation from a motherfucker. You don't. Because if you know what you are and who you are, you got to learn how to stand very firm and strong with that. Can nobody
yeah,
bring that shit down? Nobody.
yeah,
Tell you something, it's not easy, man. I have had
it's
times
not.
where I have cried, and I say,
Yeah,
where, what am I doing wrong? I have had times where my baby father has tried to put my son against me for a very long time, and I spent years of my life crying and
right.
crying and
Yeah,
crying and wondering why he was against me, why he didn't want to be with me, why he didn't love me. Where did I fail as a parent or as a mom? Okay.
yeah,
I had my son go to school and tell his teacher that I died in a car accident so he could go live
crazy.
with his dad.
What is that?
Okay. At 5, 6 years old, I think he was. You know
Yeah.
how heartbreaking that is for a mom? That you're sitting here and you are doing everything you can to give them what the
Yep.
father is not doing because you're trying to sit here and you're trying to basically fill in that gap by doing more than you even can because you know that their dad is not there.
Yeah.
Whether the dad left by choice or not, he's not here. So what you
Right.
try to do is you try to cover and justify all the bullshit that the dad is not doing by doing the mass. And then for what? For your kids to sit here, at the end of the day, you're right. They turn out to be ungrateful. But to allow an adult,
Yep.
another human being, another person come and judge me and bring me down as a parent, you don't know what the fuck I've been through. I would
Right.
never allow that from anybody.
Right. And again, this is not we're and again, we're not saying because you know we always got to put a disclaimer. We're not talking about every guy because
No,
everybody's situation
I always
is
say
different.
all
We're
guys are
we're
different.
talking about what we going through, what we've gone through, and the fact that yeah, it hurts as a fucking mom, right? Because at the end of the day, those kids came out of us. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, sometimes kids are very ungrateful. They don't see the sacrifices, and it's okay because they end up seeing it as they get older, right? I remember being una maricria. I remember talking back to my mom. My youngest son is my duplicate. Believe it or not, as much as I don't want to admit, that little kid is my twin. The slick mouth, the street smart, the fucking savageness that he has, the brains, like just the way he manipulate. That's me. That was me. But what hurts is the person you have a kid with, right? And I get it, shit doesn't work out, but why does it have to be the way it is? You get me? Like, I think that's what hurts is you at one point you love this person, you did everything possible for this person, and now because shit didn't work out, you making it seem like, oh, you're this person, you're bad, I hate you. That shit hurts at the end of the day. As much as we could both say don't let it affect, it affects because at one point this is the person you were with that you thought, oh, maybe this was my person that I was going to end up being with. It didn't work out. Okay, fuck it, it didn't work out. But that shit does hurt at the end of the day, especially you have kids with that. Like there's, for me, I don't know, maybe it'll take me time to really heal
I
that part
think
of
it
it
hurts. I
because,
think it hurts because you care.
but I'm okay. What is it, the caring? I'm okay. I'm okay with the situation.
You
I
still
don't
care
want.
regardless. However you want to paint the picture, because a person, and I hear this all the time. A person,
Yeah,
um, that
I
doesn't,
care, but I don't care enough to try to make
not
anything.
to rekindle,
You
but
know what I mean? I care because
it's a wound that hasn't
I'm a
healed.
caring person. Yeah,
That's what
yeah, I
it is. It
guess.
hasn't healed yet, and because you care, you're still very emotional about it and very fragile. Because I'll be lying to you if I tell you I care. I don't care. What I do care is when he makes me angry because he doesn't do for my kids.
Yeah,
That's when I care. When I gotta sit here and beg you for a measly $100 because your kids need it, that's when I care. When I gotta be behind your ass because you haven't sent child support, that's when I care. But
I
this
give
is
up
the
on
problem.
that.
This is the problem. You know who's at fault for things like that? Me. You want to know why?
No,
Because
we are.
when I was doing good and I was working and I was living a,
You didn't care.
I didn't care. So I didn't request the money. I didn't require the money. I didn't I never made it a big deal. Like you
But
positive
my thing is, why do you have to chase anyone for that?
you shouldn't have,
That is something that you're not doing me a favor.
but they don't see it like that.
He's not doing you a favor. That's part of being a parent. My nigga, these kids, these age, they eat, their sneakers are expensive, their clothing, everything. If they're in an activity, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that come with it. Why do I have to sit here and beg you? I
Right.
won't ask even the person I'm with, can I get $5? You bugging. I'm gonna sit here and ask you? No. You know, I just it's not me. I can't.
Well, I do now feel the need to. I will send you that one message. Well, this is my thing now. Now I'm in a relationship. And I don't see why my partner. Of course, it's a natural thing, right? Because you met me, we both have kids, and you
Yeah,
raise my kids, your kids, my kids. But my thing is, why do I always gotta have my partner pick up for what you lacking
yeah,
all the
that's not
time?
fair.
Because once, twice, three times a year shouldn't be an issue, or anything that you want to do voluntarily. But the fact that for every little thing I gotta sit here and ask
Right, and
my partner to give it to my kids because you can't. No, it doesn't work.
yeah, no,
So what I am gonna do, what I do, because you know me, I like to pinch some buttons. What I do is that I will send you the message through the parent app because now we
right,
speak parent app.
yeah,
I will send you the message. I will ask you, and if you can't get it done, then that's fine, no problem. I was just trying to see if you were gonna be able to do it for your kids, but it's fine because my boyfriend will always do it.
right.
Does it all the time. It's not a problem.
I mean, for me, with that particular topic, real quick, and not to cut you off, is like I've never, I was never the type that would be like, "Hey, I need you to do this for my kids." I just felt like whatever this person's gonna do, not being the biological father, they're gonna do it out of their own will, and that's
100%.
perfectly fine. That's it. That's it.
Yep.
Because in your situation, is a little different because your man doesn't think that way. He's more of like, I got with you,
Mm-hmm.
and these are my kids now too. You know what I'm saying? So every man thinks different. There's also the what is he capable? How much can he do? So it's every fucking relationship is different, and everybody has a different mindset. So
It's
finish off
because
what
it's
you're gonna say.
different. It's because it's yeah, like him. He does the same thing. He'll be like, why are you making a whole shit show? He didn't send the $100. You asked him, he didn't send it. Whatever. We're gonna fucking pay.
Yeah.
That's not the point though, because now what happens is that before I let it slide for too long, right?
Yeah.
And I was okay with it because I'm gonna handle it. But my thing is, we're adults now, right? Kids are getting older, more things are needed. These kids are always
Of
they always need
course.
something and everything is expensive. If I'm trying to be an adult and I'm trying to communicate with you, right? I'm trying to let you know what's going on, giving you the details, letting you know que no hay nada aquí con mala intenciones. Te lo estoy poniendo bien
Right.
claro en un pedazo, en un papel blanco. Entonces, if I'm doing all of this and I'm still not getting nothing back in return, not just that you're not sending the money, but I'm needing a little bit of communication as far as, look, I can't right now, this is not a right time.
Exactly.
That's where a mí se me entra como que es una vaina, un desesperamiento, because
Claro,
like, entonces,
claro.
pues yo soy un culo parado ahí que tú dejas,
Right.
pues no me va a contestar, no me va a decir,
Not only that, like, tú fuiste que decidiste poner todo por la corte. Tú fuiste el que quería hablar por un app. Oh, yeah, so ahora
ahora tú me vas a ignorar.
there's black and white paper. Now you don't want to follow that. Pero tú fuiste. Entonces you have situations where you're not in court. Yo no te exijo una cierta cantidad. I'm just saying, be there.
Be there.
I'm not gonna beg
But
any
that's what we
motherfucker.
wanted. But that was that's our problem because that's what I wanted with my kids. Let me tell you something. When it came to picking up
I
my
don't
kids,
want to go through the court. Why do I have
and
to
see
beg,
them
go through a
every
court?
weekend,
Yeah.
he was there. He was present. But then that's the problem. I allowed it for so long where you just pick them
Hmm.
up, be a present. I just want you to be a present father. Forget about the finance part. I could do the financial part, but then now that I need the financial parts, you don't
Yeah,
want to do
that
it because
that right there, we gotta take that as a that was your fault.
it's my
But
fault. My mom says it all the
yeah,
time.
but because what could we say, right? It's having that genuine hey, I'm gonna look out for you. I'm gonna hold you down because okay, go ahead and pick them up. But when you're not getting either or, and you want to paint this, how you say it, this facade, that right there,
Uh,
no,
yeah, that's
you get
exactly
me,
what it
and
is.
it's like my thing is not everyone is financially stable. Not everyone could do financially, but just be a present. Whether you're mom or dad, just be present, man. You get me? And
Present.
people need to stop judging other people for what they got going on. Like, man, I could give two fucks what anyone has going on.
That's
You know
never
what I'm
gonna
saying?
stop.
Like,
This world that we live in
it's never.
is not gonna stop. Because
But
let's keep it real. We sit here and we look at famous people. What do? We judge them when they're doing
yeah,
something. We talk. We
we
mention
all
whether
we
it's
all have a story though. Everyone has a story behind everything. Everyone has gone through things. Um, but come on,
I just know
let's be
that being
real.
a parent in this generation is hard, especially
And it's gonna get harder.
when you don't have the right father or mother, right? To do the
Yeah,
co-parenting thing. Because that's when it makes it harder. Because now we're not on the same page. Now there's a lot of he
yeah.
said, she said, then they go over there, then one thing, they come over here, there's another thing.
And like you said this before, where you need a mom and dad, man. Whether you're not in the same house, you need a mom and dad
Well,
because there's things that like you said, like when you're talking to your son about girl stuff, and then you have to talk to your daughter this way. That shit is hard. Like there's things that I don't want to really talk to my son because I'm like, ugh, I gotta call my brother and be like, bro, this is going on. Can you please reach? Because that's weird. And he's like, no, that's normal for his age. You get me? But I'm a girl. Like I don't know. You know what I mean? So I have to be like telling my brother, like, hey, can you? And
yeah,
for me,
yeah.
like with my son, I've had situation where he holds a lot of things in and then he blows up. He goes from 0 to 100, and I ask him like, how is like what do you bond? And again, I'm not perfect, right? I know I'm not the most affectionate person, and everybody knows that. My daughter got on me today talking about grandma's mad at you because you barely call her. You be so busy, and it's like, yeah, let me call my mom because I get caught up in so much things that you're right. I'm not so affectionate, and it's just I don't know. That's just not me, right? It takes
Starbucks vacation.
Yeah, it takes a lot for someone to bring that out of me. So, but with my son, I asked him earlier. I'm like, so how's like when you go to your dad's? Like, how is it? Like, do you guys do like sports? And like, does he talk to you about stuff? Because there's a lot of things. But I could go outside and fucking throw the ball at him, but it's not the same. You get me? I don't feel like it's the same. I feel like there's a reason why a man and a woman have a kid. Like, there's a reason for that. You get
You
me?
need to
And
help raise these
yeah,
kids.
that shit is hard. And I just want people to be present, man. Like we ain't make the baby by ourselves.
I don't want motherfuckers to be present. I'm the opposite. I don't want you around. Don't pick up your kids. Give them all to me. Sign them papers over. I got it from here. I've done this great by myself, and I could continue doing it. And now I have
Yeah,
a great man by my side. And even though sometimes, we don't see this, we don't see eye to eye when it comes to parenting because we're very.
it's hard though. Yeah,
I always realize afterwards when I shut up and I'm like, no, I
just
need
let
him
him.
opinion because you know what? It's not easy. And at this age that my kids are in now, it's not easy. I did it great, yeah, the
Yeah,
first years, but now it's two teenagers. It's 16 and 13. You need a man. Whether he's gonna come and
hmm,
slap them up or whatever the fuck it is that's gonna happen. But what I'm saying is that you can't the boys, the young men from this generation, their hormones are on another level. Their
oh
attitude,
yeah,
even though I thank God to this day and I knock on wood because obviously I can only speak moving from now and this the I can't talk about the future, but I can talk about the present. My kids have been, great kids. They're not disrespectful. I have my daughter. I've never laid my hands on her. My daughter's 16. My son, yes, I have thrown a chancleta. I have hit him. I have
for real.
him a little bit of a handful, but it's more when it came to school. He's not because he's doing bad stuff, not because he's fucking jumping up and down from the damn
Laziness.
because he's doing anything, not because he's playing video games all day, not because he's on the phone. It's never because of that. His issue is just staying focused in school. And because I'm so big on that, I don't tolerate that. But I'm glad that I have a man here for not just the disciplining part, but more so of the man figure,
Yeah,
the more structured, um, setting the boundaries, the do's and don'ts, and teaching him how to be a young man. I could teach him what I know, right?
right.
Remember the first time my son asked me, this was last year, or the year before, he was like, "Mom, what's a condom?" Right? And I was like,
Mm.
and what do you like? How do you even buy that? And I was like, well, what do you have, a banana or a plátano? And I try to
What?
make a joke out of it, right? Because I'm trying to see like how much does he know? I called my brother and like,
Mm-mm.
yo, it's time for that sex
Nope.
talk, and he was like, you could do it, and
Nope.
like.
Nope.
I was like, I don't know, mom. He's like, you could do it. Mommy did it with me. She raised me by myself. And it's true. I've seen that also in my family. Well, I've seen, my mom, my aunt, or whatever. So I'm like, I could do it to a certain extent. But truth be told, in this generation, it's different.
Uh,
You need the man.
I didn't.
My man to
Mm-mm.
teach him, how to screw something in the wall, how to put a cuadro, how to paint, how to do this. He's teaching him the man things and he's teaching him how to be independent. And that to me means way more than anything else. Because
Yeah.
yes, you could be having any man could fucking have a sex conversation with a kid. Let's be honest. But what I'm saying is, you're teaching him the principles of a man. You're teaching of a young man.
Yeah.
You're teaching him. You're preparing him for when he has a life or when he has a wife. When he grows up
Exactly.
a young man, and that to me means way more than anything in the world. And even
Of
if I
course.
get upset because everybody says that I over baby my son, and I am a mama's boy. He is a mama's boy. Um, it's not a favorism thing, right? As much as people want to say that, because I love my kids all the same, just I love them differently. But
Yeah.
the
They're
my
all different for
thing
sure.
is that I went through a lot with him,
Yeah.
and he is definitely like he's the one that has my heart in a way
Yeah.
that it's unexplainable because the things that he put me through, and not purposely because he was a baby, but the fact
Yeah.
his dad was able to manipulate him and have so much control over him as
Yep.
a young kid. He became a person who was rebellious towards me, and that's not who he is, because now I look at him, and throughout these past 3 years that I've been able to say I have my son fully where I want him to be, which is just focused here. I'm his mom. I'm always going to be your mom. I'm not going nowhere. I would fight the world for him. I don't care,
Yeah.
because nobody knows the pain as a mom that you go through. Nobody knows the times that you don't sleep because you're thinking like, am I doing something wrong? Like,
Yeah.
does my son not love me? Like, did I not give me love? Like, what? Where did I fail as a mom?
Yeah, and sometimes they say out of pocket things. So I, hey, I
I
question
remember my
myself
son
every
telling me,
time.
I remember him telling me that he wanted to go live with his dad and he was little. And I said, okay, as soon as we get home, you're going to take off your clothes because everything that you have on, I bought it for you and you're not going over there.
Right.
And I'm going to take you to your dad because since I'm such a horrible person and I'm not understanding why are you like this with me? I just want to go be with,
Yeah.
not a problem. I remember his sister was crying so much in the hallway and she was like, mommy, please. And I was testing him, you know? And I said, take off your
Yeah.
clothes, let's go. And he's like, I remember like it was yesterday. He stood right here with his arms and he goes, no. And I said, take off your clothes. I'm gonna take you to your dad's, and that's fine. You don't have to come back here anymore if you don't want to. Because clearly I'm such a horrible mom because I'm disciplining you and you don't want that. And your dad lets you do whatever the fuck you want because this is exactly what he wants for you to be on his side. I said, but that's fine. I'm going to take you now and don't look for me and don't look for your sister either. And he thought about it. He literally sat there and probably, I don't know what was going through his head. And I remember I took a deep breath and I said, if this kid really does that, this will be the end of me. Because can you
Yeah.
imagine? Uh,
Yeah. But he was little too. He didn't know what the hell he was doing.
but can you just
But
imagine
at that moment, yeah,
Austin?
you're like, shit.
And when I come back in the room, I go get him and I'm like, let's go. He's like, I'm not going nowhere. I said, yes, you are. He's like, no, I'm not going nowhere. I don't want to go live with my dad. I just want to be with my dad to go play outside. I want to stay with you. And I remember that day like it was yesterday. And I said to myself, I'm like, this is not like I'm never gonna allow this to happen again. Like nobody's gonna come
Of
between me and
course.
my son because nobody knows the amount of pain that I've been through with him. My daughter is
Yeah.
my princess. She's my only daughter. I have two boys now. She's beyond spoiled. She's my best friend. I'm her best friend. But she is she's a smart person and she has an amazing heart and she's always been
Yeah.
my everything. Like she's always been there, attached to my hip. She's defending me. She's
Yeah.
protecting me. She has been through
We
it all.
always have that one kid though that we're like, my kids tell me all the time that I'm with my son, the 12-year-old, that I'm more, oh, you give him everything, and it's just like, it's something about even when I had him early that is just like he's gone through so much and he doesn't even know. You get me? And that's a whole different topic. I'm not gonna talk about it, but it's just so much shit that I went through, and I guess it's like that guilt. You get me? Like,
That's what it is. That's the right word.
yeah, it's the guilt,
That's
and
what it is.
that's why, besides him being my damn twin and annoying me, like it's that guilt that
We want
you
to
go through
be
and
so perfect and we want to be such perfect moms and there's no blueprint to this. And I tell my kids, and one thing I've told my kids, and they could tell you this because they said it all, they remember. Since little, I always used to tell them. I remember one time I had bought them a twin size bed and I put it on top of my car and I had to get it out and do it myself and take it upstairs. And they were mad excited walking in the building. Remember, I used to live on the 10th floor.
yeah.
Walking in and my daughter goes, Mom, you're so strong. Like look at how you carry the bed. And she's like,
Mhm.
that trying to help me. And my son, mad cheesy, he's like, Mom, you're like a superpower superhero. And he was like, just mumbling a bunch of words. And he's like, this is like the best day of my life because you got me this bed and now we're gonna go upstairs. He's like, wow, Mom, you do everything a man does. And I was just like, I was I needed this like, do I really need this validation from these kids? But things like that obviously to this day I don't forget. It's like you want to be so perfect for them, you know.
Yeah,
But truth be told, there is no perfect parent. You know, we make
there is
mistakes,
not, no.
and I tell them
Uh,
that all the time. We learn as we go. I don't have a handout. I don't have a book. I tell my daughter that all the time. I don't. I can't tell you how to be a teenager. I could try to guide
yeah.
you, protect you. I could tell you
She's
the
gonna make her own mistakes, yeah.
I said, but I can't. There's nothing I could do because I don't know. I could give you my experience, but we're not the same.
Yeah. But when you look back at about like even when we were that age, like our kids are actually not that bad compared to when we were that age. We thought we were grown, and
No,
God knows that I was no
us.
era fácil.
You want to compare them to us? We could say they're not that bad. No, we got to compare them to the kids in this generation. They're not bad.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I have kids. I say I have kids because a lot of these kids still call me ma.
No, but I remember the stories you would tell me. When you would tell me certain things, I used to be like, nah, you serious? Like,
It's bad, but again, that's what I'm saying. Like we don't have it. We don't have it bad. We could have. It could be worse. And I know and I know this and I'm gonna speak about as far as myself. I know that I make mistakes obviously, but when it comes to being a mom, I or even being a mom to kids that are not even mine, I've gained kids that are not mine. I have a whole other daughter that's
for
coming
real.
this weekend to see me. That she could be my little sister, she could be my daughter. She plays both roles, but these phone calls in the middle of the night. Ma, I gotta talk. Ma, my stomach hurts. Should I go to the hospital? Ma, like, and they're not my kids, but I love them like
Right.
they're mine. But it's because you know what? Sometimes the little things that you do as a parent for a kid, that might not even be yours,
Yep.
comes a long way because that's how you realize that maybe the other parent is not doing the same. And I'm not saying that, other parents are fucked up parents. What I'm saying is that sometimes you don't know what the other person is going through.
They might be working 2 to 3 jobs.
2 to 3 jobs. They have more than one kid, multiple kids. That's a lot of time. That's hands on. It's not easy. Look, I just have 3 kids now, and a lot of times, like our my baby, he's very. I have to be very hands on with him,
Of
And
course.
I don't even want to jump into the conversation when it comes to him being a parent, but I have to be so hands on with him that sometimes I'm like. I gotta forget, like, let me spend a little bit of time with my kids and like have conversation, throw myself on top of my son, give him a lot of hugs and kisses. He is a very affectionate and lovey-dovey kid, just like I am. My daughter's very opposite. She's like, you give her a kiss, and she's like, oh, like, I'm like, bitch, I'll slap
Yeah.
the shit out of you. Like,
She's related to me.
yeah, very different. So they need affection. But overall, just, being a parent in this era is hard. Being a mom, a single mom is definitely hard. I say this all the time. You need a man to help you raise kids. You can't do it alone. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
Go sit here and go back and forth with every woman that wants to when it comes to it, but it's not easy. And I
Yeah.
say
It's
this off
not easy.
experience because I did it for 10 years. It's not easy. It only gets worse.
Yeah.
They get to a certain age where you need them, you need the support, you need that backbone, you need somebody that they know that they have to respect you because if not, guess what's behind you,
Yeah.
have to allow a man to put down. You have to allow him to, be a man. You have to allow him
Yeah.
to raise your kids, to help you raise your kids, to correct them because it's not easy. This generation of
Yeah.
kids are disrespectful. They're nasty. I go to these baseball parks where I see these. I don't want to talk about people's whether they're rich or color or not, but what I'm saying is that I go to these baseball games now and I see these kids, 13, 14 year olds, how nasty they talk to their parents, the attitudes that they give back. I don't want it, take it, just take it, leave me
Because
alone.
they're privileged. They're privileged. Yeah.
I'm like, pero yo quisiera que tú me hables y me haga pasar una vergüenza. Mira que el diente te lo saco y lo envío para Chile,
Yeah.
because it's so bad.
Yeah.
Super disrespectful kids, and not even that age. I'm not even gonna sit here and say that they're only teenager. I'm around kids all the time, and I see
Different ages.
acts, kids, small kids. The parents be thinking, it's not funny. It's not funny until
For real.
in your face that they're 15, 16, 17 years old disrespecting you. You're gonna realize that it's not funny. It's no longer funny.
Exactly.
It's not easy raising kids at this time. It's hard. We need help. It takes a village to raise kids. I went to a
For
baptism
real.
class yesterday and I learned so much from it. And I really think that even having godparents is a really important role for that same reason because you need them to be there to teach you the morals, respect. Obviously, try to put kids in, teach them the right path of of God. most importantly, kids need Jesus nowadays, porque
Let me
estos
tell you.
muchachos no saben de Dios, no saben nada, y por eso que están como los demonios en la calle, loco, andan sueltos.
Yeah. Not only that, like you said, real quick and just to, because we can just keep on talking. For any kid watching, like if you have something to say, or if you feel away, if you're not happy, if you feel depressed, if they're reach out to somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like a lot of kids nowadays they hold a lot of things in. They don't want to tell the mom or the dad. Okay, you have uncles, aunts, maybe
Yeah,
siblings. Talk. You get me? Because sometimes as a parent, you're so caught up in your own thing and making sure, okay, I'm paying the bills. Okay, I go home, I cook. Hey, did you shower? Did you do this? But sometimes as a parent too, you're at fault because you don't take the time to be like, hey, are you okay? Like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? So for any kid watching our podcast, because I know a lot of kids watch it because my son tells everybody. I know your kids too talk. You know what I'm saying? Because
vocalize.
y'all be quick to send a message about bogus things. Send me a text message. You know what I'm saying? Like just be open because sometimes we think everything is okay, and we're not perfect parents, right? We have our own. I don't even sleep at night sometimes because it's just my mind is on. Am I doing enough? Am I doing enough when it comes to work? Am I doing enough as a parent? What could I do to bring more to the table? What could I be provide more? It's a lot. It's a lot. So for any kid, speak your mind, man. DM me. I don't know something like,
Yeah, for sure.
but
It's
and you pointed out the whole parent and when you're an outsider coming in, you're absolutely right. I think that sometimes we are at fault. I'm guilty of being like, "Ooh, well, don't talk like this or don't do this," and you have to. Sometimes you gotta suck it up and just let that person say what they gotta say. You get me? Because yeah, there are kids and stuff, but a veces they need esa mano dura.
they do, and the thing is that because we want to have these kids on this bubble, um, we don't want again because we feel like we owe them something because their dad is not here. We want to
Yeah,
sit here and like not allow certain things, but oh, don't talk to my son like that, or watch what you say. We could
and
feel
how
some
you
type
say
of way, but guess what? The kids are kids. They might get mad for the moment, for the 2 minutes,
right.
but then they're gonna come back tomorrow like nothing happened because I've seen
Yeah, that's
that
true.
before. So it's like we get so emotional and caught up in the bullshit of it,
Yeah,
and then cause us a problem for what?
yeah,
The kids to be perfectly fine. Kids are kids, and they know when kids listen. Kids know when they fuck wrong.
for real.
Manipulators. So it's like, why? No, I am no longer. I said that. Remember, I told you this from the beginning when I started dating. I said I refuse to let my kids ever
Ruin.
ruin what I have in my relationship. I'm sorry. Because guess what? Within the next few years, y'all already talking about the fact that y'all gonna leave.
They out.
So I'm not about to sit here and be miserable and not live my life because of y'all. I have
Y quédate sola.
one little one that I gotta sit here and raise now that I'm gonna about to have another 18 years to go. So no. No.
Sheesh, starting all over. No,
Yeah.
baby. I
No.
hate
Not
these, but
not
it is
happening.
what it is.
So these kids, I tell them all the time. I have conversations with them. Sometimes at the beginning, they were doing a little jealousy shit, and I was like, I get it. Conversate. Tell me how you feel, but don't
Right.
ever try to trigger shit here, baby, because I will ship your asses back to your dad. Y'all didn't ruin their relationship over there. Y'all not about to ruin mine.
Exactly. For
Mm-mm.
real.
I do not allow it. So definitely it's important. Kids, my kids, y'all see this 'cause I know y'all do. Make sure y'all hear what we're
Ooh,
trying to say, And once again, moms, you don't need validation from anybody.
that went wrong. Ooh, the wrong pipe.
You don't need
Sheesh.
validation from anybody. You don't need anybody to tell you, that you are enough, that you do great, that you have done an amazing job as a parent. You know what you're doing. You know what you're doing, you know what you've done. Sometimes we expect too much from people and from this world, and we shouldn't because we need to learn how to love ourselves, fix ourselves, and know what we stand for. We don't need
Facts.
anybody to tell us that. We might want somebody to give us that little sprinkle now and then. But I told you this before. You got to be happy first and let the next person contribute to your happiness, not make you happy. There's no such thing as somebody making you happy.
Of course.
They could add happiness to your happiness
Yep.
already. And that's overall with everything, with your family, your kids, your home, your job, etc. So wow, I think that this was deep.
This definitely is one of those topics that we could keep on
Yeah,
going.
this one ran very deep. We could definitely come back and continue talking for more. We still have a lot of fun
Yeah.
things to say. So this one I must say will be continued.
Yeah, and we should definitely have maybe a guy's perspective, excuse me, in reference to there are guys right now that are dealing with maybe baby mama drama where the baby mama doesn't allow the her to see the kid, whatever the case is. Maybe we need the opinion because again, we're not here to bash. We're speaking about what we
Yeah,
going
our
through. You get
experience.
me?
100%. Yeah,
And
so
so
we could do that. We could do that, make this a little bit interesting. And I don't know. Do you have anything else to close it off with before I end it?
no, I think this one had me talking.
This
Sheesh.
is this is more like a therapy session.
For real. Got my nose all red looking like Rudolph.
I
But
know.
it is what it is. Sometimes you just gotta let it out, you know?
Yeah, I agree 100%. So parenting, co-parenting, being an adult, being a teenager, being a kid, all of this, it's hard. I say it all the time. We don't have a blueprint to it. We're learning as we go. You teach me, I teach you is the type of thing with our kids basically. We're just trying to make them better, stop this generational
Hmm.
curse that we thought that we had to do with our kids, that it's not the same thing because in this era of
Right.
life that we live in now work. So, mommies out there and daddies that are alone, that find themselves maybe sometimes like helpless or hopeless, with listen, where there's a will, there's a way. Doing a great job. If you needed to know that, you're doing a great job. It's again, it's not easy raising kids alone. It's not easy even raising kids with your own partner, nonetheless
Oh
alone.
wow.
You know, and always have
Hmm.
an open communication with your kids. I think that is very important. Be super blunt with them, be super honest, communicate about everything. I personally know that when my daughter, for instance, is like dodging a bullet here and there, I can already tell something is wrong. Ask
Yeah.
kids questions. I tell you from being a teacher experience, kids don't share much. They keep everything in, and then they come to school, they let
Yep.
it all out. And the way they let it out is by misbehaving, by being disrespectful, drugs, sex. I mean, I've met little girls, 13, 14, 15 years old, that have more sex that I'm having, or that I was having at that moment. And it's like,
Gee.
wait, what? Like, what are
Right.
we doing? So
Yeah.
educate yourself when it comes to your kids. Stop putting your hands on fire for your kids. Don't do that. My man says that I do that all the time. I don't do that. I know I don't do that,
Oh
but
no, we
again,
know what's up. Yeah.
in his mind, because he's a man and he just thinks that I baby my son a lot. He's obviously gonna say that. Little do he know that when my little one is gonna be even 10 times worse, because he's
For
my
real.
last baby. But with that being said, this one would definitely be continued. I want a part two to this episode, um,
Please.
so we could get more into details about the kids, most importantly, and the years, the gaps, and everything like that, because I think that plays a big role. So stay tuned. We will be right back. Remember, guys, this is important. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe so you can stay tuned. It's very important that you do that. Make sure you go on the link, click on the link. The link is on our bio. Follow us on Instagram, set it off podcast. Um, Follow us on YouTube. That's the only way you're gonna be knowing what's coming out, because we're not always
Right.
gonna remind you. We're gonna have some little pop-ups here and there. Catch up on the episodes that you haven't seen. Like, follow, and subscribe. Leave a comment. Show us some love, and we'll catch you guys on the next episode. Bye.